Do I have to be in the sun the whole time? Can I move like?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can move.
Yeah, because I'm just hot in this jacket.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Honestly, it's better lighting, but it's all good. You don't got to be in the sun. I've seen some interviewers where they make. Actually, his name is Greg from Real Right and Uncut. He makes his interviewees stand facing the sun, so the sun is literally blinding them. And they're like this the entire interview.
Right.
And he has his back to the sun. And they're like, I can't see. And I'm like, bro, move them. Let them stand in the fucking shade. Like, are you crazy?
Right.
He is crazy because he's really rude. He used to sell drugs, you could tell. And it shows, right? And the way he talks to them and talks down to them, he treats them like, I don't even know how he has 92 or 94,000 subscribers. I don't even know how he has that many.
That's bullshit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
He's one of the other reasons I started the channel, because I was like, bro, you can't talk to people like that. That's crazy.
Right.
I can do it way better than you. And so I started doing it.
Yeah, you're doing great so far.
Thank you. All right, so your name, a little bit about your childhood, and then, touch on homelessness and addiction, and then before you know it, it'll be advice for the kids.
Man, it's hard if I don't have questions.
All right, so what's your name?
Nate Arnold.
Nate?
Yeah.
I guess we have this, so never mind.
Right.
All right, Nate, and then how old are you?
34.
34? Hey, I'm 35.
Oh, thanks.
Nice. I thought I was 36 for a year. I'm not even kidding. I thought I was 36 for a year.
Too.
Did my taxes. And then when I did my taxes, it said my real age, 35. And I was like, there's no way the IRS is wrong. I'm wrong. How did because when you get older, you just don't know your birthdays.
Right. I just said my birthday is March 2nd, 1992. And somebody around me was like, oh, you're da-da-da. So I guess I'm 34.
Right? All right. And then how was your childhood?
It was, I don't know, I was adopted, I don't know.
Oh, you were adopted? Yeah. Have you ever met your biological?
Of course, I know my biological. I was adopted by my grandparents.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a new family and you never met them?
No.
Okay, that makes it a little bit easier. Does addiction run in your family?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
My mom would always tell me, you're going to be just like your dad. You're going to be just like your dad. Well, she wasn't wrong, because I ended up kind of like him, except he's still doing drugs, and I'm in recovery now for going on 8 years. But as a teenager, I started doing meth when I was 13. I stopped at 16. I got back into school, but I've always dabbled. You know what I mean? I've always done something.
Me too.
Right. What do you do?
Fentanyl.
Fentanyl? Do you do anything else or just fentanyl?
I
dabble.
Meth too.
Okay, yeah. I was talking to one of the other guys, and I knew he was from down south, because he said all they have was heroin and crack. And I was like, dude, you must be from the south. And he was.
Right.
So here, there's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, there's a variety.
I know.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to I know a lot of people that come here to get clean, and then a lot of people, even if they come here to try to get clean, they end up relapsing because it's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to stay clean.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Have you ever been in recovery?
No.
No? Do you want to? Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah. I'm not doing this forever,
Right.
This is a temporary phase of my life, even though temporary phases lasted almost 15 years now.
How old were you when you started using?
18.
18. Okay, so you graduated school and everything before you started.
Yeah.
What made you start doing it?
I don't know, a lot of things in life, you know what I mean? Like, just took a toll on me, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It just, like, losing friends, you know what I mean? Like, just being out of touch with having a family unit, you know what I'm saying? That was, like, structurally, strong, you know what I mean? I don't know, like, in my environment and everything like that, it was a thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It felt normal. It felt comfortable.
That's one thing that I never, ever don't hear. And that's the same thing that it was for me, is like when I was 12, I started smoking and drinking. And when I was 13, I started doing meth. And I felt quote unquote normal.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt normal sober.
Right.
Never. I always felt out of place. I always felt quiet. I always was shy. I always was very reserved and kept to myself. I had a lot of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And Yeah,
I
and
can
so
relate.
right, and so that was just one of the things where I was like I did meth, and I was like, whoa, I can talk to people. I'm not shy, and that's one thing I think they don't tell, like the kids. They always say, don't do drugs. Bad drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Don't do drugs. But one of the things they don't tell you is that you're gonna like it.
Right.
And that's what I always tell my kids. I have an addictive personality. Their dad has addictive personality. He's in his addiction right now. He hasn't seen my kids in like 5 years. And I asked my kids if they want to see him, and they both tell me no, because they were with him for a period of time and they dealt with so much during that time that they don't want to see him at all.
Right.
But that's what I always tell my kids. Look, I'm an addict. Your dad's an addict. I might be in recovery, but you guys could have addictive personalities, and you can never do drugs. Because if you do drugs, or if you do drink, or if you do smoke, you might like it and you might never be able to stop. Because once you do it, your brain, instead of saying, oh, I'm gonna do it every other day, or I'm gonna do it, even that's a lot. You know what I mean? Even that's a lot. But instead of like your brain goes from like not having drugs to doing them, and you're like, well, I need to feel like this all the goddamn time.
Right.
And then you don't ever think about not having it. You don't ever think about coming down. You know what I mean? Until you get older and shit happens. But it's hard.
Right. And there's other things that could take that place of doing the drug, like, you know, go take a run. You know what I mean? Like, work out. There's positive ways you can release endorphins that make you feel the same way as the drug.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other than actually, you know what I mean, going down that dark road that, you know what I mean, kind of keeps you stuck. You know what I mean?
Even if that dark road at the time looks like a light, fun road. It might look fun. It might seem light when you're with your friends, but at the end, it turns out the same.
Yeah, and I never did it for fun. It was never for fun. Never got like, hey, I want to do drugs because it's fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? No happy person does drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I was a kid. It made me feel happy.
Right, but
I was never happy
going into it.
No.
It's not. You don't do it because you're a happy person. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. It's like, I didn't do it because I'm happy-go-lucky and just want to, you know, explore my environment. You know, on these different substances. It's never ever been like that. And even with the people around me, it ain't never been like that. It's always because there's pain inside, you know what I'm saying?
And you
try
don't know
to
how to cope
escape
with
that
it.
pain.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So you numb it with whatever, you know what I mean, feels right to you. And so you experiment with all these different avenues of, you know, substances, and you know what I mean? Sometimes you find the ones that really hit home, you know, they make you feel comfortable in the skin you're in.
Like you're home.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know. Yeah, and that's why, that's another reason I think, like, that's another reason that I love doing this channel, is because I do know what you're talking about.
Right.
Like, I'm not somebody who's never done drugs. I'm not somebody who's, like, always been clean. I've been homeless.
Right.
I've ran around outside. I've dabbled in this and I've dabbled in that. So, like, I'm a good candidate for doing this because I can relate to you.
Definitely.
And that's another thing, like, doing the interviews, like, people will say, don't interrupt them, don't talk back. But I think that they don't understand, like, first of all, they're not sitting here talking to you. You know what I mean? Because I've got that, like, comments on other videos. Like, let them talk. The interview isn't about you, but there's banter. And there's a sense of relatability.
Right,
like,
of course.
if I can relate to you, we're going to talk more. The
Makes it
conversation. Yes, we're going to feel more comfortable with one another.
It'll flow.
And that's what people watching the video don't understand.
Right.
They don't want it to just flow. And people are so weird. They want you to do it exactly their way. I'm not making these videos for anybody else.
It's not scripted. You know what I mean? There's no pre-game script.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
There's just an outline of this and this and this.
Right.
And then we might not even touch on those subjects. It's kind of just whatever happens. And then before you know it, look, it's been 9 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're ready for advice for the youth.
Right. Well,
it goes by quick.
I mean, what you have to ask me a question that pertains to that scenario. Advice to the kids, like what exactly?
Just for the some advice for the youth to not do drugs.
Well, see, the thing is, you tell somebody not to do something so many times, and they hear it from so many different places, from so many different people. You know what I mean? The intrigue becomes a reality. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean? You start experimenting with different things and stuff like that, because you wanna find out for yourself. You know what I mean? You don't want to hear it from everybody else. You want to know for yourself exactly what's going on with that. You know what I mean? And so that being part of life, you know what I mean? Just being curious about things, like,
right.
you know, I can tell you, like, you know, like, you got to be strong within yourself if you want to do something outside of the box. What's, you know what I mean, not mainstream normal. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful, and you got to, like, take precautions and respect yourself as well as respect whatever you do. So, like, you know, I don't want anybody, you know, that has been taking the path or has already been around that environment to ever go towards that, you know, type of avenue, because it's just not, something that's gonna, you know, bring you any type of fulfillment and happiness long term. It's always short term, and, you know, it gets even deeper in a negative way to just keep going down that type of road. You know, if you're using any type of illicit substance, I'd say stay away from it. You know, that's the best thing you could do. Just stay away from it and find something else that can occupy your time and you know, be a coping mechanism or tool, you know, that can bring you more wealth within yourself. You know what I mean? Like, more internal wealth. You know what I mean? Something that stays with you for the rest of your life, not, you know, brings you down and tears you apart. You know.
Yeah, I think that was some of the best advice I've ever gotten on this channel. Because I agree with you 100%. If you tell people to not do something, they're going to touch that hot stove.
Exactly.
More than once. Because I know I was hard-headed and I fell on my ass a lot. So I think that was great.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.